What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Apollo Magic YouTube channel. Today we're gonna learn a color change. I need to get buzzed. I'm gonna put this down. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for lots of other magic lessons. I like to do these once a week, once or twice a week. And I try to do stuff that nobody else is doing, or show you little tricks on really hard, knacky stuff that makes it a lot easier for you. Such as my video on card spinning that'll appear right about here. So before we get started, I just want to tell you where this kind of comes from. I think I invented this, but it seems like it's such an obvious way to do a color change. There's no way I could have invented it because of where it comes from. Okay, so anyway, this is basically a combination between two color changes that already exist. Actually, one is not a color change. One's not a color change. It's actually a revelation. About 10 years ago when I started doing magic, the biggest thing in magic was Brad Christian's video series on how to do card magic, and in one of the videos he shows you how to do this, where you have the selected card, you drop the deck, and it just appears on top. So we're gonna do, it's basically that same thing. And then the other one is where you put your arm in front of the deck, you snap, and then as soon as you retract your arm, the color change is done. Both of these work using gravity. Again, one I learned from a video by Gregory Wilson. I think he attributes it to somebody else, but I don't remember. And then Brad Christian. This is basically the same thing. So I call this change the gravity change, but that's just because I kind of don't have a name for it. So, what you're going to want to do is grab preferably an older deck. It just works a little bit easier, alright? And let's get started on how to do this. Alright, so let's do the setup first, and then I'm going to teach you how to do the drop. You're basically changing the top card for the second card down. That's basically how this color change works, which is how most color changes work anyway. So, I'm going to change, in this case, the Jack of Spades, and let's get a better contrasting card here, the Three of Diamonds. So let's change the Jack of Spades into the Three of Diamonds. What you're going to do is you're going to push off both cards like this, and then you're going to retract them back. But as you retract them back, you're going to keep your pinky under both of them. So that way from the front, it looks like a normal deck of cards, but from behind, you can see that big old gap there. You're basically going to do kind of like a double lift. You're going to take your hand, your other hand, and you're going to place it on top and the bottom, and you're going to pull it over to the side. So I actually have both cards here, and I'm holding them as one. Now, for those of you that say never pick up a double lift like this, don't worry, we're not doing a double lift. All you're doing is you're sliding it until it's about centered on the card. So you want it halfway off the deck, essentially. This is really the hardest part. So again, you're going to push off both cards just off the deck, and then as you push them back in, you're going to put your pinky there to hold the break. So you have a break on the top, first and second card. You're then going to take your fingers on the top and the bottom, and you're going to pull this to the side until it covers only half the deck. You want half the deck showing. You got to be careful because this can happen where it slips. This is why it's easier to have an older deck rather than a newer deck, because it'll be less slippery. Now once you get to here, you are basically done. So once you get to here, all you're going to do is you're going to pick it up with your other hand all the way up, and then you're going to let go and drop it. So once you get to here, you're going to let that card sit now flat on the deck. You don't need the pinky to hold it up anymore. You're going to use your other hand and you're going to grab it and you're going to lift and you're just going to drop. So I'm going to show this from the front because there's really no other way to do it. So now you're going to grab, you're just going to lift and biddle grip, and you'll notice those cards are peeking out, and then you're just going to drop. And the change is instant, and the nice part is, even though it starts out on the side, it's going to end up flush with the deck, which might be a tell for how it works, especially if you know that other method, but it's not that big of a comeuppance. To me, the worst color change in the world is this one. That is the biggest giveaway color change, cop-out color change I've ever seen. But this, I know it starts the same, but what people are going to see, they're going to see the one card, you're going to drop it, and they're going to see the next card. It's a beautiful, quick, easy, simple color change. Hello guys, it is Future Brian here. I am editing the video you are currently watching, which is super meta. But I realized I forgot to explain something, why the effect actually works. The reason this effect works is because of the airflow, right? Let me demonstrate. Once you get to this position, what's happening is as the card falls down, it hits the wind, and the wind is actually, the airflow is actually what flips this card all the way over. You're also going to want to figure out the distance. The distance is going to be different depending on the deck that you're using. You can kind of learn to throw it from hand to hand, but you really want to just kind of drop it. That's the best way to make this effect work. That's why it's called gravity. You're letting gravity do the work. If you throw it, what's going to happen is the cards are going to bounce everywhere and it's not going to work.
Okay, now back to your regular scheduled programming.
Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you liked the video, make sure to give it a like. It helps out the channel a ton. And subscribe, hit that notification bell for more great content.